Why deep thinkers often feel alone in a world that craves comfort. Have you ever noticed that the more you dive into complex thoughts, the more you feel like you're standing alone? It's as if the deeper you go, the fewer people are willing to follow. This isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a pattern rooted in history, psychology, and even biology. Deep thinkers, from ancient philosophers to modern innovators, have often been misunderstood, sidelined, or outright rejected. But why does this happen? Why does society seem to push away those who see the world differently? The curse of seeing too clearly. Throughout history, brilliant minds like Socrates, Galileo, and Nikola Tesla were not celebrated in their time. They were mocked, silenced, or ignored. Their crime? Not a lack of intelligence, but an excess of it. They saw truths others weren't ready to face. The 19th century philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer argued that intelligence can feel like a curse. The clearer you see the world, its contradictions, its flaws, the harder it is to connect with those who prefer simpler, more comfortable narratives. This isolation isn't just a historical phenomenon. It's deeply tied to how humans are wired. When you meet someone stronger or wealthier, you might admire or envy them, but it rarely feels personal. Intelligence, however, is different. It's tied to our identity, our beliefs, our worldview. When a deep thinker challenges those beliefs, even unintentionally, it can feel like an attack. Psychologists call this the mirror effect. Deep thinkers reflect back the limits of those around them, and that reflection often sparks discomfort or defensiveness. Why intelligence feels threatening. Why does a brilliant mind provoke unease when strength or wealth doesn't? The answer lies in how we process superiority. Physical strength or wealth are external. They don't necessarily challenge who we are at our core. But intelligence, especially when it questions long-held assumptions, feels like a direct threat to our sense of self. This is why people might shut down or change the topic when a conversation gets too deep. It's not that they don't care. It's that their brain is protecting their ego. Neuroscience backs this up. Studies show that when people feel intellectually outmatched, their amygdala, the brain's fear center, lights up, reacting as if they're facing a physical threat. This response dates back to our tribal past, where fitting in was key to survival. Standing out, especially with bold ideas, could mean rejection from the group, which in ancient times spelled danger. Even today, in group settings, this instinct kicks in stronger. A 2021 Stanford study found that people are more open to deep thinkers one-on-one, but in crowds, the fear of losing social status makes them defensive, leading them to dismiss or exclude those who think differently. The social bias against depth. Society often claims to value intelligence, but it rewards conformity and simplicity. Think about it. Who gets the most attention today? Charismatic influencers with catchy, feel-good messages often outshine nuanced thinkers. Social media algorithms amplify this, favoring quick, emotional content over thoughtful discussions. The result? Deep ideas struggle to break through in a world hooked on instant gratification. This bias starts early. Schools reward memorization over questioning. Workplaces often prioritize team players, over innovators who challenge the status quo. Even in politics, leaders who simplify complex issues tend to win over those who embrace nuance. This creates a paradox. The pursuit of truth often leads to isolation because society is built to maintain comfort, not to embrace disruption. Historical outcasts, future heroes. History is littered with examples of deep thinkers who were rejected in their time, only to be celebrated later. Socrates was sentenced to death for asking too many questions. Galileo was branded a heretic for proving the Earth orbits the sun. Hypatia, a brilliant mathematician in ancient Alexandria, was murdered for her rational teachings. Nikola Tesla's revolutionary ideas were dismissed, leaving him penniless. Alan Turing, whose code-breaking saved millions, was persecuted for his personal life. These thinkers weren't wrong. They were ahead of their time, and society wasn't ready. What made these figures so threatening? Their ideas didn't just challenge beliefs. They challenged power structures, egos, and the comfort of the status quo. Deep thinkers don't just see the world differently. They force others to confront truths they'd rather avoid. Schopenhauer's wisdom, intelligence as a double-edged sword. Schopenhauer, known for his stark honesty, saw intelligence as both a gift and a burden. He believed most people are driven by a will to live, chasing pleasure, comfort, and survival. Deep thinkers, however, are driven by a will to truth, seeking understanding even when it's painful. This creates a disconnect. While others find joy in routine pleasures, small talk, entertainment, status, deep thinkers often feel alienated, seeing these as distractions from life's bigger questions. Schopenhauer didn't just point out the problem, he offered ways to cope. Embrace solitude. Instead of chasing social acceptance, use alone time for creativity and reflection. Solitude isn't loneliness. It's a space for growth. Find your tribe. Seek out others who value depth, whether through books, online communities, or small circles of like-minded people. Choose your words wisely. Not everyone is ready for big ideas. Share your thoughts selectively with those who are open to them. Navigating a world that loves simplicity. If you've ever felt like an outsider for thinking deeply, you're not alone. Society isn't built to embrace those who question the norm. It's designed to keep things predictable. But that doesn't mean you're doomed to isolation. Here's how you can navigate it. Save deep talks for the right people. Not every conversation needs to dive into the meaning of life. Find those who crave depth as much as you do. Simplify without losing truth. Einstein once said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." Practice distilling complex ideas into clear, relatable points. Keep thinking deeply. Your perspective, though it may feel isolating, is what pushes humanity forward. Every major breakthrough, scientific, philosophical, or cultural, came from someone who dared to think differently. The power of being too soon. Deep thinkers are often rejected not because they're wrong, but because they're right too soon. Their ideas challenge the present but shape the future. So, if you've ever felt alone in your thoughts, know this: you're not broken. You're part of a long line of visionaries who see the world for what it is. and what it could be. What about you? Have you ever felt misunderstood for thinking deeply? Share your thoughts below and let's spark a conversation. If you want more insights into the minds that change the world, hit that subscribe button. This is just the beginning.